Good evening, you're watching Brass Tacks with me, Akanksha Swaroop. Now, BRS leader and daughter of former Telangana Chief Minister K Chandrashekar Rao, K Kavita, was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in a money laundering case today linked to the Delhi liquor policy probe. This after hours of raids at her Hyderabad residence today. In fact, Kavita is being brought to Delhi for further questioning in just a while from now. It should be noted that K Kavita's arrest has happened hours after the Enforcement Directorate and income tax officials conducted searches at her Hyderabad residence, triggering protests from BRS supporters. Kavita's brother and former Telangana Minister K Rao reached Kavita's residence after ED officials reportedly took Kavita into custody. Now, it should be noted that this is the third high-profile arrest after Manish Sisodia and Sanjay Singh, both from the Aam Aadmi Party, are already in jail. Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is also being probed in connection with the same case, and Kejriwal has in fact skipped all recent summons by the Enforcement Directorate. Needless to say, today's arrest of K Kavita also stands out because of its timing. At a time when Prime Minister Modi is in Telangana and on the eve of the Election Commission's much-awaited announcement of the Lok Sabha election dates. With opposition resorting to the classic allegation that the government at the centre is misusing central agencies, the big burning question we are posing tonight is on ED's arrest of K Kavita. Is it probe or persecution?
You have given an undertaking in Supreme Court and now you're violating it. You're in serious trouble.
On that note, let me also break down for you why is K Kavita in the hot seat. Here's an overview of the Enforcement Directorate's case against K Kavita. Of course, the name cropped up in a statement by arrested businessman Amit Arora. That name, do remember. Now, ED has also claimed that K Kavita was a key member of the South Group. What is the South Group? Well, it allegedly paid 100 crores in kickbacks to Aam Aadmi Party via Vijay Nair. Now, the ED has claimed that South Group run by Sarath Reddy, K Kavita and bias RCP MP MS Reddy as well. The ED has also said that K Kavita changed her mobile phones 6 times during the entire probe. The ED has also claimed that digital evidence was destroyed to hamper the investigation as well. And with that, let me now introduce our esteemed panelists who will be debating the big question today. I'm joined in by Sanju Verma, who's the national spokesperson of the BJP. I'm also joined in by Shekhar Iyer, who's a senior journalist, Ravula Sridhar Reddy, who's a spokesperson of the BRS, even Mohan Kumar Mangalam, I beg your apology. Now, he's a spokesperson of the Congress party. Now, in fact, let me open the question to Sanju first. Sanju, the big allegation that is coming in is, of course, the most classic argument that we hear from the opposition these days is that the central agencies have been unleashed on them by the government at the centre only to stifle the voice of the opposition.
Akanksha, I have a couple of points to make which completely nails the bunch of lies being peddled by the opposition so rapidly and brazenly at that. First and foremost, let's take the case of, K Kavita because she's been in the news in the last couple of hours for the wrong reasons. The first summon by the Enforcement Directorate was sent to K Kavita way back in December 2022. Repeatedly, on some or the other pretext, she's failed to comply with the ED summons. She even went to the Supreme Court to have the investigation in the liquor scam pertaining to her be quashed. But the Supreme Court very categorically said nothing doing. The investigation in liquor scam will continue. You have to stand trial. She also went to the Supreme Court anticipating arrest, pleading that there be a stay on her arrest. Even the stay on her arrest, the Supreme Court said nothing doing. If the Enforcement Directorate decides that you will be arrested, let that be the case based on a thorough and impartial investigation. Now, what has happened? I always say very quickly, in any criminal investigation, there are three things which are very relevant, Akansha.
All right.
One, 1 mala fide intent, 2 proceeds of crime, and 3 a money trail. Now, when Manish Sisodia, Satyendra Jain and Sanjay Singh were put in the lockup and their bail plea denied repeatedly by the Supreme Court, it categorically said that a money trail of rupees 338 crore has been established. The mala fide intent and proceeds of crime against K Kavita. Now that comes into the picture because of two people. One, Arun Ramchandra Pillai. He has been a close confidant of K Kavita for the longest time, and he's been singing like a canary in the custody of the Enforcement Directorate. The other is Bacchi Babu Gorantala, who was the chartered accountant of K Kavita and used to be a front for all her Benami transactions. He's also been in the custody of the probe agencies for the last 9 or 10 months. Now, these two people are akin to witnesses. You have a witness, you have proceeds of crime, you have a mala fide intent,
Right.
and you still claim
All
that
right.
the Modi government is, engaging in vendetta politics. What are you smoking?
All right, Shekhar, Sanju's made some very significant points. The question, of course, remains, what are those Aam Aadmi Party leaders doing behind bars if there is no case over here? Let's not forget that we are talking about PMLA.
Yeah, indeed, Kavita's arrest was expected even before the Telangana Assembly elections. In fact, Congress had then made allegations that the whole thing had been delayed to help KCR. It did not happen because of the elections. And today, it is the BRS leaders like KT Rao who are accusing the center, saying that this is actually, the government is not going after the Congress leaders. Rather, they are targeting us. So, and seeming to, suggesting that Congress and BJP are together to finish BRS.
Well, till some days ago, it was that the BRS and BJP are together. And now, obviously, as you highlighted, the attention shifted to Congress and the BJP, which, of course, seems like pigs are already flying. On that note, in fact, I am now joined in by Mr. Ravula Sridhar Reddy, who is the spokesperson for the BRS. Mr. Reddy, first of all, if I could come to you, why are there murmurs that what the ED today has done is against law because there was a stay on K Kavita's arrest, which is a big lie, because we all know that Mr. Mohit Rao has in fact gone on to allege that there was a stay and this is illegitimate, this should not have happened.
Yeah, there is a protection on the arrest and the matter is sub judice. Today, the Honorable Court has posted this case to 19th for the appeal which we made.
Mr. Reddy, let me correct you over there. From what sources have told, CNN News 18, our reporters on ground have been covering the story very closely, and this is a correction I would like to make. There has been no stay on that arrest.
Yes, exactly.
See, I mean, the matter is sub judice. That's what I'm trying to say. She made an appeal to Honorable Supreme Court that all the activities of the ED has to be stayed. And the court has posted this case
right,
on 19th.
So that's an appeal that's been made, but it's not
Even
that
before,
the court has pronounced a stay.
Even before the court verdict come out, what is so urgency? I mean, exactly when the Prime Minister is in Hyderabad, and exactly when the general election schedule is to be announced tomorrow, and this activity has taken place. They have arrested her, and look at the timing. And this is the clear case of political witch hunt and political vendetta. They wanted to intimidate us. They wanted to weaken BRS party. They wanted to, take a political advantage and gain in the forthcoming parliament elections in Telangana. I mean, even in the past, in the last visit of Narendra Modi ji, there was a clear threat. Mamla bahut rangeen ho jayega. So there was a threat, and you can see the activity following to it. And we have asked for the time, and it is the arrest is completely against the provisions of law and unconstitutional. We condemn the arrest, and BRS is going to protest this.
All right, Sanju, if I could come to you on this, you heard what Mr. Reddy is saying. There's, of course, one question that's plaguing everyone is that how come Arvind Kejriwal has managed to dodge those summons over more than half a dozen times and K Kavitha Reddy is already under arrest?
I don't want to trivialize this very engaging debate by you, Akanksha, by saying that Kejriwal ka number bhi aayega, because that is, par for the course, and it's so easy for me to say that. But I will, rebut the allegations of Mr. Ravula Reddy. if you remember, Akanksha, in July 2022, there were 241 petitions against the Enforcement Directorate's supposed authoritarian behavior, and all these 241 petitions were by the other side, the opposition and its acolytes.
But Sanju, that argument's also becoming passé now, don't you think
No,
so?
I'll just quickly tell you, there were two very important observations made by the three-judge bench of Justice C.T. Ravi Kumar, Justice Khandilkar and Justice Dinesh Maheshwari. And it's important for your audience to know this. The Enforcement Directorate has been called, this is a handmaiden of the Modi government. This is an acolyte of the Modi government. This is a retainer of the Modi government. The Enforcement Directorate has been lampooned viciously. What did the court say? The three-judge bench of the Supreme Court, Akanksha, said two very important things. It said, while the PMLA Act of 2002 and the amended PMLA Act of 2005, under Section 50 of the PMLA Act, the Enforcement Directorate is well within its rights to summon anyone it chooses to do so in an ongoing investigation, even if the concerned entity is not a party to the case. But the second very important, pronouncement by the Supreme Court was, while Section 19, while Section 19 of the PMLA, the Enforcement Directorate can make a suo motu arrest even without a warrant, and that was upheld by Justice C.J.
All right, point
Chandrashekar
taken. Point taken. I'm glad you brought those facts on record. Sanju, Mohan Kumar Mangalam, first of all, thank you for very patiently awaiting your turn. Rumors that have finally been laid to rest, of course, is that your party is not in cahoots with the Bharatiya Janata Party. Having said that, we've also heard political analysts and in fact some members of the BRS go on to say that the BJP is doing this only to eliminate BRS so that there's a direct contest between the Congress party and the BJP. I'd like your response.
No, there may be some merit to that. I mean, the BRS is party number 2, BJP is party number 3. But, just a couple of things. One, I think there was protection against arrest of Kavita in the Supreme Court, but that expired on the 13th of March. I'm not sure what happened on the hearing of 13th of March. I know Sanjay Singh's bail plea is up on March 19th, and on the 13th, Mr. Sisodia's bail plea was denied. I think the bigger issue here is, and Sanju pointed out to some of those provisions, but it's true that these provisions of PMLA are fairly draconian. I mean, there's no trial here that started, and this pre-trial detention can last forever. In fact, in this particular case, the Supreme Court itself observed in, I think it was October 2023, the Supreme Court told both the CBI and ED that they cannot keep Mr. Manish Sisodia, who was a former deputy CM, in jail for an indefinite period of time. And at that point of time, the ASG who was representing the two agencies, Mr. C.B. Raju, said that the trial would start as soon as possible and, in due course, and there was just one more step left of CRPC to take care of. But here we are, and it's still not under trial. A lot of charge sheets have been filed in 2023. Really, I think both the agencies, under PMLA, I know you can keep them incarcerated for as long as you want, but there are limits to this. Why is it taking so long to get through this investigation, and why is it taking so long?
All right, I think Sanju wants to come back to that because, yes, Sanju, that's a very valid question, pertinent one, considering this is an investigation which has not just happened overnight. We've seen it take place, it goes back to 2 years.
Mohan Kumar Mangalam made a very interesting point. I will elaborate on that, though I disagree with him. And I've been on a couple of debates where what the BRS spokespeople have been saying, Akanksha, is that since the matter is sub judice, legally to arrest K Kavita is not legally tenable. It is not legally something that will stand scrutiny if the matter goes to the apex court. Now, I will read out what the apex court said both in April 2023 and in July 2022. The apex court said that Section 3 is a continuing offence. When it talks about Section 3, it talks about money laundering, which is what K Kavita is accused of. Section 3 is a continuing offence, irrespective of time at which the predicate offence is included in the schedule of offences. So basically what the court is saying is that the money laundering offence is a standalone offence under the PMLA, and hence, if the probe agencies believe that during the sub judice period a detention is required, then they are well within their right to detain the accused entity, in this case K Kavitha, though her matter has not been fully heard and she's still sub judice under trial. So that is one point. But the second point, which people are not talking about, please remember that what is the South group or the South cartel? Because I always say that, you can get into legal semantics. See, you can argue till the cows come home. The legal semantics is one part of it. But I will just, for the sake of your audience, in a layman language, what did K Kavitha do? Along with Arun Ramchandra Pillai, along with Abhishek Boinpalli, along with her ex-chartered accountant, Bacchi Babu Gurantala, along with YSRCP MP M. Srinivasulu Reddy and his son Raghuva Maganta, and along with T. Sarath Chandra Reddy of Aurobindo Pharma. These half a dozen people, what did they do? At the behest of K Kavitha, they took a 32.5% stake in a company called Indospirit. And to get this 32.5% stake, earlier, K Kavitha, through her CA, Bacchi Babu Gorantala, had given 200 crore as bribe money, which was routed through Vijay Nair. So that is the whole manner in which, you give a bribe, you take 32.5% stake in a company, and then you try and claim the moral high ground, whereas you have tried to legitimize your kickback by taking stake in a company to the tune of 32.5%.
Right. Sanju, while I do agree with you, we still don't know the facts entirely. This is a matter that's sub judice. But having said that, I am going to take those points very much. I'm going to take them up with Mr. R.S. Reddy. Mr. Reddy, one prime concrete reason for bringing Ms. Kavitha over to the national capital is only so that she can be confronted with all these witnesses. In fact, when you talk about an Arun Pillai or even a Vijay Nair, for all you know, they'll be confronted. But all those names that have just been mentioned by Sanju, how do you respond to those allegations that are currently there?
No, she would have been given summons. Why do arrest? Number one, if she has to be confronted with the other accused or other witnesses in Delhi itself, she would have been asked the same. Number one. Number two, Sanjuji was saying that if the probe agencies believe in the case, that if they get convinced that something wrong happened, they can arrest even during the matter is sub judice. Why this is not in the case of other leaders who have joined BJP facing the same kind of allegations? Why they go scot-free? Why the probe agencies are calm and silent on their issues? Why only on the political opponents? Number three, these are all allegations. There are no money trials. There is no cash found. All the losses are imaginary. Supposing if you say today it is 10 rupees, tomorrow it is 15 rupees, so you have lost. This is purely an imaginary loss which they are actually projecting. This is a fabricated case purely out of political vendetta. Who are all accused in this case? Only the political opponents, our BRS party, a few belongs to ISRCP, who are not completely with BJP. And in some other cases, like in Bengal and other areas.
All right. So let's not digress. Sanju has, she wants to come back to what you just said. Sanju, I give you 30 seconds.
Thank you. I just have one simple rebuttal to Mr. Ravula Reddy of BRS. If what you are saying is true, that money trail hai hi nahi, malafide intent hai hi nahi, proceeds of crime hai hi nahi, please tell me, why has the Supreme Court repeatedly denied Kavitha any relief, saying that she has to face trial? She went pleading, saying, please put a stay on my arrest, but the Supreme Court said there will be no stay on your arrest despite this being an ongoing investigation. Are you telling me the Supreme Court does not know the law of the land? And 1 minute, please, I heard you. I started at the very onset saying the Supreme Court has said tentatively 338 crore worth of money trail is established. K Kavitha has given bribes to the tune of 200 crore. K Kavitha has legitimized those bribes by taking a 32.5% stake in a company called Indospirit, which itself is under the scanner for engaging in nefarious dealings. So there is a money trail, there is a proceed of crime, there is a malafide intent you do not wish to believe. Please feel free to do so, and please live in La La Land.
All right, Mr. Reddy, if you'd like to come up with a rebuttal to whatever Sanju's just said.
See, I repeat, these are all allegations. No money found anywhere. Everything is on paper. Numbers are imaginary. Losses are imaginary. That's what I'm trying to say.
If
And
everything
today,
was imaginary, then you would not have a Sanjay Singh or a Manish Sisodia behind bars. You never know who's
Exactly.
going to be
That's
next,
what I'm trying to
including
tell
the
you.
Delhi
That's
Chief
what I'm trying to
Minister.
tell
So
you.
let's not use the word imaginary over here. No.
No.
Nobody
That's what I'm
uses
trying
the
to tell you.
PMLA on imaginary figures,
But
on
for-
imaginary
but for-
cases. I beg to differ, sir. Do not disrespect
but for-
the central agencies of the
Allow me to
nation
speak. Please
by
allow me to
using
speak.
terms like imaginary.
Exactly.
allow
Thank
me
you
to
for
speak.
saying that,
But for-
Akanksha. Thank you for saying that.
But for political opponents or leaders from opposition parties, no one in the ruling party today, right from Mr. CM Ramesh, former MP, Sujana Chowdhury, former MP, many other leaders joined BJP, were not arrested in such cases, though there were money laundering cases
You go to
where
the
their
Supreme
MPs have
Court.
actually made allegations. Number one. Number
You
two.
drag them to the Supreme Court.
Wait a second, ma'am.
You know, when you
The-
say that, Mr. Reddy, you are either
the
questioning
case
the
was-
opposition's
the
own
appeal was admitted in
integrity
the Supreme
to
Court.
approach the apex court or the apex court itself. Who are you questioning?
apex
Your
court-
own integrity as the opposition to not be
No.
taking the party at the center to the apex court.
The apex court admitted the case or appeal, hearing or appeal to give a direction to stop the activities of ED with the wrong intention on Kavita ji, and the case is posted on 19th. What is so urgent? Are we running away from
I
the
will
country
answer
or
that.
what? We have been cooperating in the case with all the probe agencies concerned. When CBI came to inquire her, she cooperated. We have answered all the summons given by ED. So why now? I want
Can
to
I
be-
answer
Why not
No.
now?
No.
I want to know from you, Mr. Reddy,
Timing
why
of
not
the
now?
country.
If there's nothing to hide, then why not
when
now?
the elections are and election notice, rather schedule is to be announced tomorrow. When the Prime Minister is in Hyderabad, and BJP leaders from the last 1.5 years have been giving statements that we will be arresting you. How come they know it? Even
Shekhar
the-
Iyer,
no, no,
Shekhar
no,
Iyer,
those comments.
Shekhar Iyer, I want to involve you over here on this point. Who's on the back foot with the BRS? With the BRS politicians joining the BJP in the past few days, I want to know from you what is your view on who's on the back foot and who's on the front foot here. There's already the sort of panic in the BRS cadres after we've seen a great number of BRS leaders being announced in the BJP candidate list from Telangana.
Yeah, that's on the political side. But we must remember last October, when Manish Sisodia's bail was rejected, the Supreme Court bench hearing the case had noted that there is indeed a money trail to the tune of 338 crores. That was a very, very serious observation. And so therefore, I think the difficulty that Manish Sisodia or Sanjay Singh are having in getting bail shows that the ED has managed to produce some evidence before the apex court and also before the courts handling this case that the matter is indeed serious. Now, the detention of Kavita and bringing her here is to take the case forward, because the whole thing is about that these things were settled by these top leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, including Arvind Kejriwal and Kavita. See, ultimately the story is now moving towards the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal,
And
who apparently took the advice of Hemant Soren. Just don't bother about the ED summons. Now, finally, Hemant Soren is inside. Now, today, Arvind Kejriwal tried to get relief regarding the Delhi court summons regarding this not responding to the ED summons. Now, looks like, Akansha, things are moving in this particular case. What's happening on the ground regarding the BRS, Congress and the BJP ahead of the Lok Sabha elections is a different ball game.
Right.
But this particular thing, in fact,
No.
the allegation against the central government then was they had helped the BRS
Can I
by
comment?
All right.
action on
All right,
Kavita
all right.
ahead of the Telangana
Let
election.
Mr. Reddy, in fact, come up with a rebuttal. Mr. Reddy,
Just
please
1
go
minute.
ahead. Please go ahead.
These cases have started, exactly a couple of years back from the day BJP wanted to gain more ground in Telangana state. And now, despite their secret pact with Congress party.
But the fact of the
these
matter
allegations-
remains
Let
that
me-
the
let me
BRS
complete.
BRS
Let me
politicians
complete.
are jumping ship themselves.
Absolutely
Exactly.
not. I'm saying, despite their secret pact with Congress party.
Absolutely,
after all these
yes.
Can I complete? After the allegations, in assembly elections, BJP could get only 8%, 8 seats.
Oh my
Now,
God.
having seen remote chance of winning Lok Sabha seats in Telangana, exactly they acted exactly a day before the election schedule is
I want
announced.
to answer this.
Despite many a times Modi ji coming to Telangana state, Amit Shah ji coming to Telangana state, Nadda ji coming to Telangana state, they are not able to find any strong ground. They could
May I come in,
not,
Akansha?
fight us on the ground. And this is what BJP was doing all through these
Mr.
years.
Reddy, if I can quote Network 18's own mega opinion poll, we've already seen a bump as far as the NDA's seat sharing in Telangana is concerned. Well,
They said the same during
we'll
the
see who will
election.
have the last laugh. Sanju, if I could bring you in.
Thank you. There are a few names which I forgot. Please, Mr. Reddy, I heard you. There are a few names that I have to mention, taking off from where Shekhar Iyer left. Please understand, Akanksha, that there is one very important man who was an accused and then he turned an approver under section 306 of the
Yes.
CRPC. That is Dinesh Arora of Sri Radha Industries. Then there was a sting operation carried out about a year back against Sunny Marwa of Mahadev Liquor and Amit Arora of Buddy Retail. And in that sting operation, these two men who are accused themselves, they also admitted that yes, there has been lane-dein quid pro quo between the South group held by Arun Ramchandra Pillai, Bachi Babu Gorantla, K Kavita, Abhishek Govinpulli on one side, and Vijay Nair and Samir Mahendru on the other side. So the point I'm making is, you have Dinesh Arora, who has legitimately turned an approver, and his statements, while section 306 of the CRPC will carry a lot of weight in the ongoing investigation on the floor of the Supreme Court when the case comes up for hearing. And don't forget another thing, which nobody seems to be talking of here, is that not once has K Kavita herself denied the fact that she gave a bribe of 200 crore. Not once has she denied that yes, she took a 32.5% stake in Indo-Spirit. Not once has she denied that she met up with Samir Mahendru.
Mr. Reddy, that is exactly the reason why we are having this debate, and more importantly so, which is why the arrest today has happened. It was only imminent after the ED conducted those raids for 4 to 5 hours. That arrest was in fact made imminent. Right.
See, while I don't want this trial to happen in a TV studio, I want to say, where is the 200 crores?
She
Who have
has
found
invested
it?
that
Where is the money?
via a bribe.
I am
I'm
sure
telling you.
if she is
Via a
innocent,
bribe to Vijay Nair.
Mr. Reddy, if she's innocent, that's the question she'll be answering herself. She'd want to answer it as soon as possible. Don't you think
That's
so?
what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying. There is no clear evidence in this case. It
Then
is a
why
fabricated
object?
case.
Then why object the arrest? Let her go, have those
Do you
confrontations.
think that we should not be objecting to
Whether
arrest?
it is an Arun
Can
Pillai
I come in for just a
or
second?
Vijay Nair.
Sub judice,
Yes,
you expect
of
us
course.
to
Mohan, please go ahead.
fight.
Mohan wants to make a point.
Yes,
Mohan,
can I just make?
let Mohan make a point. Mohan, please.
You expect us not to question the
Can I
arrest?
please just come in for
Mr.
1
Reddy,
second?
let Mohan.
I want to make a point here, which is under section 45 of the PMLA. The only way a person can get bail is that if the court is convinced that they are not guilty and will not repeat the offense. Now, the only way for a court to be convinced of that is to have a full trial. So, frankly, even though it's sort of against the principles of natural justice, you can almost never get bail in a case under the PMLA. And that is the problem, because I've heard a lot of the conversation here. Sanju has been very eloquently listing out the case. It kind of sounds like she's already decided and investigated and she's ready to hand out her verdict, even though it's sub judice. I would say that just because someone hasn't gotten bail in a PMLA case doesn't mean that they're guilty, or doesn't mean that there's enough evidence that they would be convicted in a trial.
No, that is something that we've made amply clear. In fact, I'll have to wrap up this entire discussion because I'm running short of time. Many thanks to you, Sanju, and all the gentlemen here on this discussion. Thank you for giving your precious time to CNN News 18. In fact, Sanju will also be joining us on the next debate.